Hello, everybody. I'm Chasko, and you've tuned in to Beyond the Scuttlebutt. Thanks for joining. So, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Got myself finally a Blue Yeti, so things are gonna sound just a little better. Well, today I'm gonna introduce y'all to a long-standing family tradition known as the safety meeting. It's not your typical safety meetings that you would expect at a workplace. No, this one requires a bowl with whatever herb you prefer. Today I'm not quite sure what I'm having, but I'm thinking from the smell that it is sour D. One of my favorites. All right. Well, the reason for said safety meeting is because of a story that I found out of Colorado, and it's a bit disturbing. So, warning. Some of the details are a little graphic, but let's get to it. From the Daily Mail. All right. Quote from the shooter. My goal is to kill cops today. Chilling words of Colorado police killer who gunned down 19-year veteran before being shot dead by a hero bystander who picked up his AR-15 and was then tragic killed by the responding officers in a mix-up. It's a terrible, terrible story and 100% avoidable. And it's already in the first sentence or two, first paragraph here. It tells you exactly why he got shot. He picked up the AR-15. Cops were responding to an active shooter with an AR-15. So as you're an officer and you show up to a scene, you see a man with an AR-15, and that's the reason you're there? You're their threat. They don't know that you just stopped whatever happened. They don't know anything. They just know there's an active shooter. But before I get into all that, let's go ahead and read the rest of the story because I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So the shooter is Ronald Troyke, 59, shot dead Arvada police officer Gordon Beesley, 51, on Monday. Good Samaritan John Hurley, 40, heard the gunfire and rushed to the scene. He withdrew his concealed carry pistol and killed Troyke. However, officers who arrived on the scene believed he was the gunman who killed Beesley and fatally shot him. Local news stations Fox 31 have now obtained excerpts of a 4-page letter written by Troyke before he killed Officer Beesley. The letter reveals his deep hatred for cops and says, in part, hundreds of you pigs should be killed daily. That is very disturbing. And I'm pretty sure they haven't figured out exactly why this guy did this. It's quite, usually in these situations you won't find out because most cases it's a mentally disturbed person who had a moment of trigger, and we will never know exactly what triggered him, why he did it. That's just what mental illness is. We're just not there yet with the science. But we will be soon. Let's get on to this. Let's see. Alright. A 4-page letter written by Colorado man before he shot dead a police officer with an AR-15 reveals his deep hatred for law enforcement. Ronald Troyke, 59, was caught on surveillance camera gunning down Officer Gordon Beesley, 51, in the town of Arvada on Monday afternoon. Good Samaritan John Hurley, 40, was shopping nearby and returned to the scene with his concealed carry pistol. Hurley shot dead Troyke, potentially saving the lives of other officers and civilians in the process. However, cops who subsequently arrived on the scene believed he was the original gunman and shot him dead in a tragic case of mistaken identity. And it is. It's completely tragic. I mean, and the whole thing happened. I mean, in the video, I'm not going to show the video, but I'll tell you about it a little bit. You see Troyke, he drives up in his truck, sees an officer, gets out his AR-15, runs after the officer. Officer has no idea this guy's coming. He's walking away from him. So the guy runs up to him, gets about 10, 15 feet away, and then fires on him, killing him. It's tragic, and I don't know what's going on with society today that make this happen. But alright, it's just, I mean, it's not alright, but well, here's this Hurley. He's the hero who ended up getting shot by the cops. And this is Beesley. He's the officer who was shot by Troyke. Both of these men are heroes. They really are. I would really like to take a moment too and just let you guys know that, you know, we need to, I'm praying. I really am. I'm praying for these gents and their families. It's sad. Prayers, everybody. Eyewitness Poi Tranos told the Denver Channel he was working in a nearby store at the time and Hurley was inside the premise doing some shopping. The pair heard the gunfire before Hurley, who was armed with his own concealed carry, ran out of the shop towards the scene. He did not hesitate. He didn't stand there and think about it. Tranos told the station, "I just want to make sure his family knows how heroic he was." And he was. I mean, it takes, in those situations, there's flight and fight, and he chose to fight. Most people choose flight. Learn that firsthand in the Marine Corps. According to Toronto's, Hurley confronted Troyke and fired 5 or 6 shots at him, causing the gunman to collapse against a parked car. A manager at a nearby store told the station that prior to the shooting, he heard Hurley urging bystanders to seek shelter. He turned back and looked towards everybody at the restaurant and told us that he, the gunman, is coming back and that we should get inside, the manager said. Healy saved many lives, many lives, doing 2 actions: keeping people out of harm's way and then taking out the killer. His only fatal mistake was picking up that AR-15 and holding it when the cops showed up. The only reason you should even grab that AR-15 is to get away from the shooter. Get it away from him, keep it distanced. Don't hold on to it, throw it to the side or something. But once the shooter was, incapacitated, then there was no threat. You don't need to hold that gun. He didn't think, and it cost him his life. But I digress. Meanwhile, the district attorney office has commented on whether or not charges could be filed against the cop who fired the shot that killed Hurley. Arvada police did tell the Denver Post that an officer is on an administrative leave, which is considered to be standard protocol, but didn't reveal their identity. Not yet, but they will. And it is standard protocol. No matter if anytime somebody's died, there's always an investigation. According to the Facebook page, Hurley was a classically trained cook. Until recently, he had been working as a catering company. After the business declared bankruptcy, Hurley took on jobs at a piano moving company and an arcade, reported by Fox 31. Longtime friend Cody Souls described him as in a statement as an outspoken activist who wanted to help people in the community. Hurley former co-worker Cole Crooker told Fox 31 that he was a dedicated, passionate, and caring, Johnny was the kind of guy that would think of everyone but himself first, always, he said. And that's plainly the case by his actions here. I'm just sad that he had to die. Just because he didn't think everything through. And I feel for the officer too, because he was just responding and did what he thought he had to do. But there should be a video somewhere eventually of maybe the recording of the officer had a cam on him, and then might see what happened when the cops showed up, because I really want to know. I really want to know what exactly happened. Just like any other police officer shooting, we want to know all the details before we judge. I'm just saddened that Hurley and Beesley had to lose their lives because somebody was having a bad day. Well, we're going to go ahead and move over to a slightly lighter subject. We have George Floyd's brother, and saying something that I wasn't expecting anybody to say from George Floyd's side. And, well, I can't really say much more about it, but I'll let him talk about it. So let's get to it.
Her daughter is walking around, and I know she's in tears every day thinking about her mother. Her mother was killed in point-blank range, shot multiple times. So many different people all around the world who didn't even have this type of technology. I just want to reiterate, not just Black Lives Matter, all lives matter. We need to stand up and fight. Can't get comfortable, because when you get comfortable, people forget about you.
Amen.
So the legend will still live on. George is not here, but...
Do you hear that? All lives matter. That's also Black Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. Everybody lives matter. Well, everybody, I'm Corporal Chasko, and thank you for joining me. If you like the new mic, please comment, let me know. And trust me, Bubba's still around. He's my reactionist. Alright, well, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, I'll be right down as soon as I find my lighter. Oh, you guys are still here? Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in to Beyond the Scuttlebutt. Really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, go ahead and smash that like button for me. You know, if you're new to the channel, you can always subscribe. Would appreciate that as well. And also go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Got any suggestions? I'm open to them. All right. Y'all have a good one.